Hey folks, saw something that I thought was pretty interesting recently, and I thought I'd just go through it for the channel. There probably won't be many more videos in the next little while, just because I'm gonna be getting my soul crushed with some pretty intense school stuff for the rest of the semester. Um, but anyways, basically for my Christmas break here, me and my girlfriend went and visited some of her family for Christmas this year, and basically we were traveling through the mountains. We drove to Vancouver Island from Alberta, and then basically back into the Caribou, which is basically central British Columbia. It's kind of the middle of nowhere, to visit her mom, who basically retired in a cabin on a remote lake. It's like a 45-minute drive off a highway on dirt road just to get to the lake. It's pretty out there. Basically, what happened, the whole trip I was basically looking for anything interesting, keeping my eye out, especially when it was dark out, for anything on the side of the road or in the trees or in fields and stuff. Kind of made the drive more interesting anyways. And I've been doing that for quite a while, just because, you never know, there might be something there eventually. And we left early in the morning to come home, to drive home from a Christmas break. And we took a road that went through Lone Butte, which is kind of a small community in British Columbia. Basically all of British Columbia is mostly mountains. We're kind of on a plateau, but it's still a little mountainous. Anyways, we're exiting kind of the Lone Butte Township area, because I remember seeing that sign a little, maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I saw this, but I was keeping my eye out as usual, and I saw some interesting tracks. Now, they've been getting a lot of snow while we were there. They got about 14 inches. And it had been snowing the night before and also that morning. But it had currently not been snowing when I saw this. Basically, there's kind of a small open clearing in the trees. And I just happened to look over and I saw some tracks. And they're the first set close to me. It was very steep embankments off each side of the road, so I couldn't see the ones that went right off the side of the road. But basically there were some tracks that basically looked like someone in snowshoes had walked through this clearing. And the weird thing was, though, is that the tracks had enough distance between them that it didn't make sense. If you're in 14 to 20 inches of snow in snowshoes, you kind of drag your snowshoes drag behind, and you're also plowing a lot of snow. So your tracks kind of just look like a pathway almost. Like there's no real distinctive individual tracks. So I found that really interesting, and I thought, holy crap, these might be Sasquatch tracks. You'll notice that the pattern, if it was kind of under any other context, could be animal tracks, could be bear tracks, could be moose tracks. Because moose and bear can leave tracks that look similar to this, except the only difference here is that snowshoe-sized track I was talking about. So these tracks were quite large, but they were clearly individual. They're very distinct. I kind of did a crappy sketch here that I'm just showing you guys on my iPad. Then the interesting part I noticed is that these tracks went over the barbed wire fence, and there was no real noticeable interruption in the pattern of the tracks, meaning whatever went over the barbed wire fence did it with ease. There was no trouble getting past this barbed wire fence. Unfortunately, I couldn't stop on the road to take a better look at these tracks. It was early in the morning, the sun was kind of just rising, so the light was somewhat dim, and we were on a 2-lane highway and there was no shoulder. and it was pretty windy. So if I had stopped, I would have taken a huge chance for us getting hit by someone. And the road conditions were terrible from all that snow too. It was pretty icy, and the roads were covered in snow as well. So it would have been too dangerous to stop to take a look. And even after a while, I still thought about turning around anyways and coming back to look at these, but I decided not to. It's in the interest of safety, because with snow tracks, it'd be highly unlikely that I would find enough definition to prove that it would be potential Sasquatch tracks. So basically, I just have to go off the large size of them and the fact that there was no drag marks in between the tracks. They were clearly individual, distinct tracks. The kind of separation between the tracks was probably, I'm just kind of guessing off memory, like 4 to 5 feet in between each track. It doesn't really look like it on my drawing, but if you think about how big the tracks are, it should kind of make sense. So yeah, it's possible I saw Sasquatch trackway crossing the road, and it would have had to cross that morning because those tracks would have been pretty filled in otherwise, because it was snowing like crazy the night before. So, did I just miss a Sasquatch crossing the highway? That would suck, but maybe I at least noticed its tracks. I've never seen tracks like this either in the snow, and I've seen pretty much every animal, large animal in North America's tracks that I can think of in the snow. I've even seen grizzly tracks in the snow, which aren't super common, and they actually don't really look anything like this for the most part, but their belly kind of drags on the ground in deep snow as well. But yeah, so I found this very interesting. It's not a lot, but we'll add it to my large list of maybes, I guess. I've never had anything super concrete happen to me, but it just means I need to spend more time in areas where people have aggressive encounters. I'll probably scare myself half to death doing that, but anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And I noticed on one of my previous videos there's a lot of negative comments, and I appreciate people giving me their opinions. Just keep it civil, guys. There's no reason to get overly aggressive. We're all in this together, this subject. We're a small group of people, and we got to stick together. Anyways, I hope everyone had a great Christmas, and I hope everyone has a great New Year. Thanks for watching.